It's time for August planting. Now I'm going to show what we plant as well as what you can plant now. It's really important that you plant this month if you want a successful fall garden. So let's get right into it. But first, like most gardeners, I cannot bring myself to rip out plants that are still producing. So I need more space. So I'm going to show you guys this package that was sent to us. How exciting. I can't wait to put it together. So Veggiga. I don't really know how to pronounce it. We're going to go with Veggiga. That's what we're going to go with. Veggiga sent us this metal raised garden bed. So thank you so much for sponsoring this video. We're going to unbox it real quick. We're going to put it together. We're going to fill it. And then we'll get right to planting. So we've never had a metal raised garden bed, and I've always wanted to try them because I've heard really great things about them. So I'm going to give you guys my initial impression of this one specifically. So let's get started. So for my initial thoughts on the garden bed, first, I think that it's super durable. Definitely. I firmly believe that that has a 20+ year life in it. And another thing is with garden beds, I'm always concerned about soil contamination. That can happen, especially if you use treated wood, stuff like that. But with these, it's safe. There is no soil contamination. This also is resistant to high temperatures, which is definitely a concern for me as we live in East Texas where it gets extremely hot. And as also, we do live in a zone that allows us to plant all year round. We've never done it before, but we're going to try this year. And this actually extends your planting season because it keeps the soil warmer so you can plant earlier. So for those of you that live up north, this would be super nice. And lastly, I do believe that this is an extremely high quality product, and I highly recommend it. It also is a very affordable price, and it's even more affordable with our discount code down below that gives you 10% off. That's in the description, so make sure you use that when ordering your very own. If you want to order the one that I have here, this is the 9-in-1 8x12 11-inch high bed. So make sure you guys go check that out on their website. And again, don't forget to use that discount code. All right, y'all. First up is beans. I'm super excited about this. Our beans did not do great this year. If you guys are struggling with stuff in your garden, flowering and producing, make sure you check out the video I'll leave linked. It's mostly about our tomatoes and peppers. We also had the same problem with our beans. We just couldn't fix them because they had already died. But now that I know what the problem was and how to fix it, I'm going to go ahead and replant. You guys can plant pole or bush beans right now. So what I'm planting is Kentucky Wonder pole beans. Sorry, my hands are totally dirty. I like to get my hands down and in the dirt. Kentucky Wonder, favorite variety. Love this. I'm definitely not going to be growing any other one this year. And then as far as bush beans go, we have this burpee stringless green pod. Excited to try that. And then a lot of people recommend this top-notch golden wax. So we're going to try that too. I did plant pinto this year, but that did not make it. And then bush bean tender green, which did make it actually and produced quite a lot before they died in the spring. But it's time to replant, so that's what we're going to do. And they're going to be going in our new garden bed. We have a fence right behind it, so we can trellis the pole beans. We'll plant in the back so that they can trellis up the fence. And then we'll plant bush beans all in front of that. And then I have a couple other things to go in this bed. So I got all the beans planted, and I am loving already how this is looking, and I cannot wait to see this bed all filled out. But we still have a little area here that has nothing in it, and you know around here we do not like to let little areas go to waste. So I'm planting Swiss chard. You can plant Swiss chard now, but these two varieties that I'm planting, the Fort Hook Giant and the Ruby Red, are both heat tolerant. As a matter of fact, this one is so heat tolerant, I'm still harvesting from the ones that we planted in spring. So definitely, if you're not planting heat tolerant varieties, I'd wait till closer to the end of August to plant. But if you're planting heat tolerant varieties, I think now is okay. So make sure you guys watch. We'll see how that goes. I could be wrong, but I don't foresee it being a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in here, as many as I can fit. All right, let's quickly go over what more we're planting outside and what we're not planting outside, but you guys could. So the first thing's cucumbers. I'd like to go ahead and plant some more. We've just been getting so many, it feels worth it. But I'm not going to plant these. The boys will at another time, but they're going to do it this month. They'll probably do it within the next week or two. And then the last thing's basil. Now, this wasn't on the chart to plant for fall, and I couldn't really find a lot of information about planting basil in fall. We're going to give it a shot. I think that we'll still have enough warm weather to get a good amount off of it. We got a good amount of basil. We mostly harvested it just as we needed to cook with it, but we didn't really get any to preserve. So I'd like to get some to preserve. All right, so a few other things that you guys could plant by seed outside if you wanted to, but we're not going to, is till mid-August, you can plant winter squash by seed still. You can also plant okra by seed and small variety pumpkins. Now, this is all until like mid-August, so probably not like past the 15th. One thing that we may do is corn. Corn can be planted outside till about the end of August, so we probably will do that, but that's John's little project. He'll handle that. And zucchini squash, we did more of that last month, so I don't feel that we need to do more again this month, but you could still replant zucchini squash if you want to, as well as you can plant any kind of summer squash by seed outside right now. So that's pretty much it for planting outside. Let's go inside. I'm going to plant some stuff. I have some seed trays already set up, and then I'll plant what I'm going to plant, and then I'll tell you guys what more you guys can plant that I have not started. Now let's take a look at the indoor plants we're going to be doing. First, we have golden acre cabbage, spinach, Copenhagen cabbage, hopefully I pronounced that right, Long Island improved Brussels sprouts, red acre cabbage, which I'm really excited about. I looked at some pictures of this and it looks so beautiful. It's like a red purple. And then cauliflower, snowball improved. And then our favorite broccoli variety. And then also a new broccoli variety that we have not tried before. We'll have to see how this turns out. So let me get this stuff planted and I'll show you how much of each thing I planted. And then we'll talk about what else you can start inside that I am not doing. All right, so first we still have that eggplant in here from last month. We planted that, I would say it was probably a week ago, and you can see it's still doing really, really well. So I planted 20 broccoli, 10 of each variety. Then I planted 10 spinach plants. And this is 18 cabbage, 6 of each variety, 18 Brussels sprouts, we only have one variety there, and 9 cauliflower. So that's what we planted inside. Now let me just, also before I forget, this kit comes with the seed starting tray, the heat mat, the humidity dome, grow lights, is still 10% off. I will leave the link in the description. So this is pretty much has everything that you need for a beginner to get started. But if you're looking for something more simple, this tray, so that one's a 40 cell. This one I believe is 36, but this is just the tray. And then it also has the bottom. But what's great about these is that these are pop-out cells. So it has like a flexible bottom that you can push up and pop the little seedlings out. So you don't damage your seedlings getting them out of the tray. So that's a little bit of a simpler setup, but I'll also leave that link in the description. That one I don't believe is on sale. So some things that you can plant inside that I did not plant inside is if you have cold tolerant varieties of Swiss chard, ones that are not hot heat tolerant, you could go ahead and plant those inside to get them ready for outside planting. Another thing is kohlrabi. You could also plant that inside. I think I'm going to hold off and maybe plant some outside this year. We've never really tried it or had it, so I didn't want to take up indoor space for that. Another thing is mustard greens can also be planted inside right now. Another thing, I think I'm just going to wait until it's time to plant outside. But if you guys don't have indoor planting space for any of the things that we planted, they're going to be coming up later this month into next month to plant outside. So don't worry, you can still plant them inside. This is just to extend your harvest a few weeks, so you get it a few weeks sooner. I hope you all got something out of this. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And don't forget, if you are looking for a high quality, low priced metal garden bed, to check out the Rebekah garden beds. I have a 10% off code. Don't forget about that. And you guys can save a little and get something nice and high quality for your garden.